Hello everyone, dear supporters of Barcelona. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to stay updated on everything about FC Barcelona. Today, we have some exciting and exclusive information to share with you. We're going to dive into the latest news and rumors surrounding our beloved club. So, get comfortable and prepare to discover what's happening behind the doors of Camp Nou. As always, we start with the hot topics that are buzzing in our community. Let's get started with the first one. Firstly, attention, Barcelona supporters. We have some breaking news that fills us with excitement and reaffirms our club's vision in the relentless search for talent. FC Barcelona has set its sights on a player who could very well shake up opposing defenses, Victor Osimhen. Yes, you heard it right, the name of the formidable Nigerian striker, a true force of nature in attack, is on everyone's lips. Victor Osimhen is being considered as a luxury plan B, a top strategic option in case the recruitment of Nico Williams becomes complicated or fails in the complex summer market. Imagine for a moment, fellow supporters, what it would mean to have a player of Osimhen's caliber in our squad. A true force of nature, capable of striking fear into opposing defenses with his power, speed, and goal-scoring instinct. Victor Osimhen has burst onto the Blaugrana agenda with overwhelming force as a more than interesting option, almost an obsession to strengthen our attacking front. We're talking about a player who brings that presence, leadership, and goal-scoring ability that we so desperately desire to return to the pinnacle of world football. This is what defines us as the best club in the world, this ability to anticipate the market, to always have top-level alternatives, and to relentlessly seek the talent that will lead us to glory. The master plan of our sports management for the next season is underway, meticulous in every detail and ambitious in its objectives. We are carefully looking for the pieces that will allow us to lift the most prestigious titles once again, both nationally and internationally, and especially the ever-elusive and highly desired Champions League. To dominate Europe with our unique style, this DNA that makes us unique and admired, we need players of Osimhen's caliber. And while the priority is clear and the enthusiasm for the arrival of a national talent is maximal, our club, with its characteristic intelligence and foresight in the market, always has aces up its sleeve. A top-level alternative plan that guarantees us success. And this plan B, Barcelona supporters, is the powerful Victor Osimhen. For those who follow European football closely, scrutinizing every league, every competition, and every emerging talent, we know that Osimhen has already taken a clear step towards his future. A step that, although initially did not favor us, could change if our club moves with the necessary agility and conviction. It is true that there has been talk of his choice for an English club, Manchester United, as the team where he would like to continue his career. However, the market is dynamic, and players' priorities can change if a giant like Barcelona enters the game. At his age, Osimhen, a striker in the prime of his career, is determined to end his Italian adventure. His relationship with the Neapolitan club has significantly deteriorated last season, partly due to his loan to another club, Galatasaray, which, although not in the initial plan, turned out to be an ideal showcase for him. There, he had a spectacular campaign, participating in more than 40 goals, an impressive figure that demonstrates his direct impact on the game, reawakening the interest, if it had ever disappeared, of the biggest European clubs. Victor Osimhen is a born goal-scorer, a leader at the forefront of the attack, and that is exactly what Barcelona needs. A tailor-made profile for our attack, goals, leadership, and an imposing presence. The emergence of Osimhen on our agenda is no coincidence. His profile perfectly matches what our team is looking for to strengthen the attack and give it that reliability and impact that we have sometimes lacked. We're talking about a pure center forward, a reference number 9, but with the mobility and ability to overflow that makes him versatile, capable of playing in multiple offensive positions. He stands out for his innate ability to score goals, his leadership on the field, contagious to his teammates with his commitment, and his imposing presence in the penalty area. A true nightmare for opposing defenses. In an increasingly physical and fast-paced football, having a striker of his caliber, capable of holding up central defenders, playing well with his head, having the speed to break away, and that coldness in finishing, is pure gold for any offensive system. The sports management, always attentive to the talents that emerge in the major European leagues and demonstrate that extra quality, has closely followed his evolution. His ability to score important goals at key moments, his performances in the Champions League, and his impact on the game of his teams demonstrate that he does not shy away from big challenges. This type of winning mentality and performance under pressure is exactly what we need at Barcelona to return to the top of European football. Victor Osimhen is not just a player with an innate talent for goals, but he has also developed that maturity and effectiveness that make him a complete footballer, a true predator in the box. The market strategy, having top-level options and acting shrewdly, is crucial. It is true that Barcelona has a clear priority in the transfer market, and the enthusiasm for the arrival of a talented and unbalancing winger is undeniable and shared by all. However, our club, with its intelligence, experience in complex negotiations, and long-term vision, knows that it should not put all its eggs in one basket. Having a plan B of Osimhen's caliber is a sign of good planning, foresight, and the ability of our sports management to react. The transfer market is an unpredictable ecosystem, full of twists and unexpected complications, and operations can get bogged down or complicated at any moment for multiple reasons. Now, dear supporters, I want to know your opinion, that of the best community of supporters in the world, who are always there to push the team in difficult times and to celebrate victories with overflowing passion. This community is the true engine of the club. I know that we share an immense passion for Barcelona and the irresistible desire to see our team always at the top, lifting trophies and making history. What do you think about the news that Victor Osimhen is a plan B for our club to strengthen the attack? Does the idea of seeing him wear our glorious Blaugrana jersey and shine with his goals at Camp Nou excite you? Let's move on to our second topic, an important decision within our beloved club. Pablo Torre, one of our most promising young talents, has made a firm decision regarding his immediate future. His path is leading away from our club and will be tied to RCD Mallorca. Yes, friends, the young midfielder turned down an offer from a Dutch club, despite the temptation to compete in the next edition of the Champions League, and has chosen to join the sports project led by Jagoba Arrasate on the island. This is Barcelona, always looking for the best for our young talents and for the balance of our squad. The Cantabrian promise, a diamond we polished at home, prioritizes, and with great discernment, having quality minutes in La Liga. Pablo Torre is confident, and so are we, that the new coach of the red and black team will give him the leading role he so vehemently seeks to relaunch his career and exploit all the talent we know he possesses. According to information from Football Fantasy, it's a brave and sensible decision for a footballer at a crucial stage of his development. The footballer, who still belongs to our beloved club until 2026, has already communicated his choice to our sports management as well as to the Dutch side. This demonstrates his professionalism and clarity of ideas. The operation is in its final phase, in this decisive home stretch, and the negotiations between the Balearic entity and Barcelona are progressing at a very good pace, almost without pause. At Sun Moix, the optimism is palpable, and they hope to finalize the transfer in the coming days. Once the last economic and contractual details, which always accompany this type of transfer, are resolved, Pablo Torre's decision to seek minutes and a leading role away from home, in a club where he knows he will have the weight he needs, is, in my opinion as a Barcelona supporter at heart, absolutely favorable and very intelligent. It's a shame that a talent like Pablo Torre has not yet found his place and the necessary regularity to flourish in our first team, given the very high competition in the midfield. But his development is what matters most. The experience of a discreet season in another Catalan club, where he was loaned, has taught us that young players need to play, to feel important, to make mistakes and learn. And this is not always possible in the whirlwind of a giant like Barcelona. A footballer of his projection, with his game vision, passing quality, and ability to see football with the clarity he possesses, needs continuity to grow. And at Mallorca, he has found that perfect balance between ambition and stability, between the demands of a top-level league like La Liga and the certainty of having a leading role. With his arrival, the red and black team adds undeniable quality to the midfield and strengthens its bet on young players with high potential. Just at the beginning of a new stage under the direction of Arrasate, a coach who knows how to get the best out of his footballers. The decision is made, and Pablo Torre will wear the red and black colors that we hope will bring him a lot of luck and, above all, a lot of football. The sports management of Mallorca, led by Pablo Hortels, is tirelessly working on an agreement that would revolve around €5 million. A figure that, although it may seem modest, is only part of the strategy. Barcelona, for its part, with its shrewdness and future vision, seeks to retain half of the footballer's economic rights. A masterstroke that ensures us future profit in case of a potential sale. Furthermore, our club seeks to include a buyback clause, still to be defined in the final details, to not completely lose control over a talent in which, let's not forget, we have always had long-term confidence. This strategy is fundamental. It shows that our club is not only thinking about the present, but has a long-term vision for its young promises. It's not a definitive sale that would make us lose a promising footballer, but a disguised loan with an option to buy that allows Pablo Torre to continue growing, while we keep an eye on his evolution. It's a win-win operation where the player gains minutes, Mallorca gains a talent, and Barcelona retains part of its rights and the possibility of bringing him back if his potential explodes as we hope. Every young footballer is a world apart, and each one needs a different path to reach their full potential. Some flourish immediately in the first team, others need loans to forge themselves, and some, like seems to be the case with Pablo Torre, need to get out of the pressure of a club like Barcelona to find their space and the necessary confidence to shine. His season in another club was discreet, it's true, and that's a reality. But we cannot judge a footballer on a single campaign. Pablo Torre's quality is undeniable. His game vision and technique are of a high level. What he needs is continuity, to accumulate matches, to gain confidence, and to feel like a fundamental piece of a scheme. And Mallorca, with a new coach arriving with fresh ideas and the promise of giving him a leading role, seems to be the ideal scenario for that. It's a club where the pressure is different from that of Camp Nou, which could allow him to play with more freedom and fewer constraints. Furthermore, the fact that he turned down the Champions League to prioritize minutes in La Liga speaks volumes about his maturity and commitment to his development. It shows that he is not seeking the spotlight but real football, the opportunity to grow and become the footballer we all know he can be. This mentality is what we want at Barcelona. Patience is a virtue, especially when it comes to young talents. Pablo Torre's path has not been the most direct to the first team, but that does not mean his potential has diminished. My opinion, as a Barcelona supporter at heart who lives every match with passion and dreams of lifting the Champions League again, is that Pablo Torre's departure to Mallorca is a wise and very intelligent decision by our club. It's a shame he didn't have the continuity in our first team, but his development is a priority. Now, dear supporters, I want to know your opinion, that of the best community of supporters in the world, who are always there to push the team and celebrate victories with overflowing passion. I know that we share an immense passion for Barcelona and the irresistible desire to see our team always at the top, lifting trophies and making history. What do you think about the news of Pablo Torre's departure to RCD Mallorca? Do you think it's the right choice for his development and that he will find the minutes he needs there? Let's make our opinion heard, because Barcelona must always manage its talents intelligently and with an eye to the future. Finally, thirdly, we have a major move at Barcelona that could well shake the foundations of Spanish football. The recruitment of Dani Ceballos, a talented and experienced midfielder, is on everyone's lips. Yes, friends, this name, that of the talented midfielder, has 1.5 feet out of the Casablanca, and his agents are more than willing to sit at the table to make Ceballos land at Camp Nou. This is what defines us, the ambition to be the best and to seek talent wherever it may be, even if it comes from a rival, always under the watchful eye of Hansi Flick. The plan of our sports management for the next season is underway, meticulous and ambitious, seeking the pieces that will allow us to lift titles again and dominate Europe with our unique style. And on this path, a possibility has emerged that, if it materializes, would be a huge coup in the market. The arrival of a midfielder with experience in La Liga and the Champions League, but who is primarily seeking more protagonism, is news that fills us with enthusiasm. Dani Ceballos, a player with undeniable technical quality, a privileged game vision, and an ability to combine that fits perfectly with our philosophy, has not had the space or continuity he desired in the starting 11 of our eternal rival. He is a footballer who, despite his talent, has seen his playing time reduced, and this lack of protagonism has pushed him to seek new paths to relaunch his career. And what is most important, dear supporters, is that he does not rule out a possible arrival at Barcelona, a move that, without a doubt, would be an earthquake in the landscape of Spanish football. The arrival of Hansi Flick on the Barcelona bench has generated a wave of enthusiasm that we have not felt in a long time. His style of play, based on intensity, verticality, high pressing, and above all, control of the midfield to generate offensive play, requires footballers with a privileged game vision, exquisite technique, and great work capacity. And it is precisely in this line that Dani Ceballos comes into play, surprising many, but with the approval of our new coach. Flick, with his pragmatism and keen eye for talent, has given the green light to the operation. Barcelona sees in Ceballos a footballer capable of bringing quality, experience, and great distribution and recovery ability in midfield. Although he has not had the desired regularity in his current club, his quality is undeniable. He can move between the lines, provide the decisive pass, and has that ability to unbalance that allows us to break down closed defenses. He is a player with refined technique and notable intelligence in decision-making, knowing when to slow down, when to accelerate, and when to launch an attack. His versatility to play in different positions in midfield is an additional asset that Flick greatly appreciates. The fact that Flick approves a player of these characteristics and that he comes from where he comes from speaks volumes about his professionalism and purely sporting approach. He seeks players who add to the project without worrying about their past. His arrival would bring healthy competition to the midfield and a quality alternative for our team. A place where excellence is always welcome. What makes this news even more striking, dear supporters, is the position of the white management. Florentino Perez is open to negotiation. Yes, as you read, the president of the eternal rival, known for his toughness in negotiations and for his historical rivalry, does not rule out an operation that would allow a footballer to leave in search of playing time. This is a clear sign that Ceballos' situation in his current club is untenable and that both parties are seeking a solution. The operation could therefore come to fruition and surprise many. We know that negotiations between our club and the other are always complex, full of nuances and pride. But if there is a willingness on the part of the player and the agents, and if the white club is willing to negotiate, there is a window of opportunity that Barcelona, with its shrewdness, should not let pass. It is not a ruinous operation, but an opportunity to add quality and experience at a reasonable price. Ceballos is seeking protagonism, and Barcelona can offer it to him. It would be a move that would generate a lot of stir, but which, on a sporting level, could be very beneficial for us. The ability to attract a player of his quality, who knows La Liga perfectly, is an undeniable asset. For Dani Ceballos, this possible move to Barcelona is not just a change of jersey, it is a personal and professional quest for protagonism. A footballer of his talent cannot afford to spend a large part of his career on the bench. He needs minutes, continuity, to feel important, and to be a key piece of a project. And at Barcelona, with a new coach arriving with fresh ideas and a game mentality that prioritizes possession and technical quality in midfield, he could find that role he so desires. His arrival would bring healthy competition to our midfield, raising the level of every training session and every match. He is a player who, when he has confidence and minutes, can shine with his quality. His game vision, his ability to break lines with a pass, and his skill to overcome rivals in reduced spaces are qualities that fit perfectly with our style. Furthermore, his experience in La Liga and European competitions would bring a touch of maturity to our squad. The fact that a footballer who has worn the jersey of the eternal rival is willing to cross the line and come to Camp Nou demonstrates the magnitude of our club and the appeal of our project. My opinion, as a Barcelona supporter at heart, who lives every match with passion and dreams of lifting the Champions League again, is that the possible recruitment of Dani Ceballos is a great opportunity and very exciting news. He is a footballer with undeniable technical quality, exquisite game vision, and an ability to combine that fits perfectly with our style. If Flick has requested him and the management is willing to negotiate, it is because they see real value in him, beyond any rivalry. I am very much in favor of this operation and believe he would be an excellent reinforcement for our midfield, bringing quality and experience. Now, dear supporters, I want to know your opinion, that of the best community of supporters in the world, who are always there to push the team and celebrate victories with overflowing passion. What do you think about the news of Barcelona's possible interest in Dani Ceballos? Do you think his profile would fit perfectly into Hansi Flick's game idea and bring the sought-after quality and protagonism? Does the idea of seeing him wear our glorious Blaugrana jersey and shine at Camp Nou excite you?